You know, it's finally hit me in the end, which is a weird thing to say, in the end. And I guess I should have come up with this comparison along the way, but I don't know that we had all the data was being compiled. All the stuff was piling up. So maybe it just wasn't enough. There weren't enough reactions to make me end up with this comparison, but I feel pretty good about it. I'm fine with you disagree, but I feel good about it in the end. Quinn Ewers, the former Texas quarterback. There's two parts to this. One of these is I'm changing my opinion now. And I think you might too. We're now at a dollar figure that says, whoa. Okay, we gotta think this through, kid. But let me get this part out of the way first. The former quarterback, Texas quarterback Quinn Ewers, you know what he is? What I finally have realized? He's the Dak Prescott of college football. I hear the same responses, the same reactions, the same angst. He's the Dak Prescott of college football on the field and off the field in so many ways. Tell me I'm wrong. Let me make my argument. I'm not. Look, first of all, Dak Prescott. You blame him for everything. Now, it's not just Dak Prescott, and it's not just Quinn Ewers. It is, I don't know what, I guess it's fantasy football. I guess it's gambling. I guess it is something has made fans, and even serious football fans, whether you're a homer or not, just if you enjoy football, you've arrived at this place where if it's not Joe Burrow, Patrick Mahomes, Lamar Jackson, they suck. That's where people have arrived. I'm not saying Dak Prescott is Lamar Jackson or Joe Burrow or Patrick Mahomes. Not saying that, but you do realize there's another level. And it's almost as if no other level of quarterback play can exist with the public. It's like, you better be off the charts great. You better be upper echelon, generational, or else I'm going to blame you for everything. And I've argued, I've never once said Dak Prescott is one of the 3 to 5 best quarterbacks in the NFL. I'm not saying that now. I didn't say it when he was healthy, but he's not trash. Example, feel free to disagree. If you stuck Dak Prescott when he had his leg attached, when healthy, if you stuck Dak Prescott with the Philadelphia Eagles, if you stuck Dak Prescott, just stick him in under center with Detroit, I don't think those teams are all that different. I don't. They're winning a lot. They're dominant. They win. They'll be the favorites. That's all I'm saying is that, you really are a byproduct mostly of what's around you. Is he limited? This is where I'm going to compare him to Quinn Ewers. Yeah, he's somewhat limited. Yeah, sure. He's not Joe Burrow. Got it. He's not Mahomes. Yeah, got it. But he's also not, I don't know. He's also not, give me somebody terrible. He's not Aaron Rodgers at the age of 42. He's a really good quarterback. In the end, Quinn Ewers turned out to be a really good quarterback. Is there some limitations? Yeah, some. But they're not that far off. It's not all their fault, always. And so how people react, right? I mean, the only reason why Texas is still one of the only reasons, there's two, but they're secondary ended up being really good. But one of the only two reasons why they're in the semifinal in the end is largely because Quinn Ewers played really, really well when his team could hardly run the ball. I mean, the year that Dak Prescott had 2 years ago, the only reason why they're in a playoff game is because he's playing really, really well, and they had a good defense. So these are and were good players, really good NFL player, really good college player. No, not Joe Burrow. No. Off the field, they remind me of each other. And that's a compliment. I've said for a long time that could you imagine a world with all the drama, all the dysfunction, an absolute carnival barker of an owner? Right? Could you imagine a world in which that quarterback for the Dallas Cowboys is more like Aaron Rodgers, is even like Baker Mayfield, who I think is a great player, who's just an out there personality and, a guy that's not afraid to fight publicly. Could you imagine what an even bigger circus the Dallas Cowboys would be? Do you know how many times an Aaron Rodgers, if he were with the Cowboys and he were Dak Prescott, you know how many times he would quit or flip out or whine or cry or blame his owner? I mean, the guy is, I've said many, many times, and I'm going to stick by this, and to a degree, I think Quinn Ewers is much the same publicly. And it's a compliment when, in my world, it's a compliment when you shut up and stay in your lane. That's a good thing. Both of those guys shut up and stay in their lane. And they both been met with some pretty ridiculous drama. Certainly Dak Prescott, because his owner is a carnival barker. But the guy has been the ultimate company man. I know they paid him. I know. And I don't know that we know he'll ever be worth what he got paid. But every day, somebody in the Jones family has to be thankful their quarterback is not a circus act like an Aaron Rodgers. Or otherwise, that place would go up in flames. Then you have Quinn Ewers, who I think has followed the same sort of I'll shut my mouth. You'll hear very little from me. I'll stay in my lane. And even when people are complaining or whining or there's drama starting around me, even when the backup quarterback, to me, is the most popular player in college football and he's not even playing. Even when the guy behind me is absolute football royalty, you never heard him complain. I'm saying publicly. They both could be the devil privately, for all I know. But publicly, there's never any drama. I mean, the guy countless times could have said, I cannot believe these people are on my ass. I'm playing pretty well. Or I'm sick of hearing them cheer for the backup. What about me? I mean, any moment, most players would have snapped and said something. But he kept in his lane. He stayed in his lane. And I got to believe part of the Steve Sarkisian loyalty to him is Sarkisian realizing, man, this dude has handled this publicly as well as you can. I'm not saying people ripped him, and I'm not even saying, I'll give Arch Manning some credit too. He never gets over his skis. He lays low too, and that's a good thing. But in dealing with the public, after a certain amount of time, when you've played well and you don't think anyone's giving you credit, most successful players, most players, period, that would pop off every now and then. Not him. Neither Dak Prescott nor Quinn Ewers. They remind me of each other. You blame them for everything. They're both really good. Not great, really good. They both at times pick their team up and put them on their back. And then they both are company men who stay in their lane, never say a word. On high-profile franchises. I don't know why it's taken me so long to compare the two, but there I did it. I don't think that satisfies you. I think we're always going to disagree. We're always going to disagree on quarterbacks. I think people around them are almost more important than they are. And many of you think that they're everything. But I think these two guys, just the path they've been on, everything surrounding them reminds me of they remind me of one another. Right? In a world of divas, they're not. They're really not. And then, though, there's a new twist. Every few days, we get reports that the offers, and that's the way the mercenary sport of college football works now. Throw a bunch of sugar daddy money at a player and see what happens. But every few days, the Quinn Ewers to stay in college football or not stay in college football, that story grows. Here's the question for everybody now, because I am starting to change my opinion. I am now able to make an argument. Whoa. You might want to take this one. You might want to take it. Is there a point, and maybe you've already passed it, and for people that aren't even football fans or don't even know the storyline here, you can really appreciate this. Is there a point at which you say about Quinn Ewers, he could go to the NFL, of which he's already declared, but he could change his mind. Or he has another year of eligibility left in college, so he could take offers from anybody and pick a place and go play another year of college football. Those options are in front of him. He's declared for the NFL draft. He says he's going to stick to that But let's see if anyone's starting to change their mind. Are you at a point at which you say, man, you need to take that deal? I'd take that deal if I were you and go play for, I'll make this up, Ohio State, Oregon, Alabama, wherever. I don't know where this giant amount of money is coming from, but I think there are now enough trustworthy reports that the numbers are probably not far off. And if the numbers that are reported now that you're about to hear are real, are you at a point in which you say, man, you got to take that, okay? You got to take that. I'm just about there, and I'm almost ready to say, whoa, you got to take that. It's 1 year of college football. Take it. I'm just about there. Are you willing to say, man, you're crazy for not doing this? I'm not there. Okay, I probably won't go there and say, man, you're crazy for not doing this, because I wouldn't trash him or anyone else, to be honest, that has decided to do what they think is best for them, and the money doesn't seem to matter. Okay, good for you, I guess. So I'm not ready to go crazy. You might call him crazy, and I don't know that I would blame you, because I think this number is now, it's absurd. I don't know how you can turn it down in light of his circumstances. So here we go. What's reported now, and this is from NBC and Pro Football Talk, which is pretty reliable. Mike Florio is not a goof. Via Chip Brown of Horns 24/7, another school has offered Quinn Ewers $8 million. He made reportedly, he made 6 over the past 3 years with Texas. The report is he could make 8 for next season. Now you see what I'm talking about. Now I think I'm just about there to say, you need to take that deal. And let me tell you why you need to take that deal. If you don't take it, more power to you. I don't quite get it, because it's not, the upside versus the downside are now not adding up. I mean, that is 8, if it's true. And I don't know how reliable, when somebody promises you 8, I don't know how you make sure they deliver. I don't know how you don't get stiffed in this world. It's such a slimy industry. And I mean slimy. But I don't know how you don't take that. I think that's a deal. I think that's a deal maker right there. So he says he doesn't want it, or people on his behalf are saying he doesn't want to do it. All right, let me tell you the arguments now why I would say I think you need to take it. But that's cool if you don't. Hope it works out. But I don't know how you pass up that kind of money now. I really don't. For one season of 13, 14, 15 games playing for Oregon, Ohio State. I mean, it's not like, most of us would go back to college. Most of us would have never left college. I wouldn't. Would you? Give me $8 a day and I'm fine staying there. $8 million to play college football. I know it's not a normal college life. It's not the brutal NFL life. It's not. It's not life as a 5th round draft choice in the NFL, where you have no idea if you're going to get a paycheck that next Tuesday. Everything in the NFL is not guaranteed. Only the rookie deals in first round. Take it from me. You get paid every Tuesday, and you are not guaranteed to be there all 17 games. It's different. There are no guarantees, except for a first rounder, and he's not going to be that. So compare and contrast here. $8 million for one season of college football. Okay, that's the story that's out there, and I'm going to. I guess I'm starting to believe it. It's $8 million. Walk through this. Number one, it's $8 million for 1 year, one season. Okay. Like I said, none of us wanted to leave college, period. You certainly didn't have $8 million staring in your face. Number two, it's $8 million with the upside of this. One, it's $8 million. Okay. But it is the upside with a chance to improve yourself. Okay, you're getting $8 million to then try to go improve and get 30. Got it? That's what you're trying to do. Or you're trying to just go from 8 million to 10 million. But 8 million, if it's guaranteed, is really hard to turn down for one season. It's more than he will make in the NFL his first 2 to 3 years of that contract. He's not going to be a first rounder. But if he were to go to Ohio State or he goes to Oregon and he does improve, I'm not sure he can. I've said he maxed out probably. I get it. But let's just say he does improve. Okay, next year it's not a great quarterback draft. And next year somebody's desperate. And next year somebody says, I like him. I take him at number 15. You now made $8 million your last year, and you're now going to go get locked in, guaranteed for $35 million, guaranteed for 4 years. There is a huge upside, even if you don't improve that much. Let's say right now the draft happens tomorrow, and you don't take the $8 million, which he says he's not. You don't take the $8 million, and you're drafted in the 4th round. You make a club. You make the You make the Arizona Cardinals. You're going to be a backup to Kyler Murray. That's life for the next several years. You're not going to be the starter. You're not going to see a starting job in any game outside of a preseason game. You're going to make about $2 million a year, max. Won't hit many incentives. Not that many built in for backups. That's the way it's going to be. Now, that's a great living. You don't get CTE usually that way. No one's knocking it. But you've turned down 8 to maybe get 2.
Hey, Austin, Jeff Ward here, and I never thought I'd be in an accident and need a personal injury attorney. And then sure enough, less than a mile from my house, I was blindsided. I was injured. My world was turned completely upside down. I called DJC Law, and their team took care of everything. I got the best result possible. Don't just take my word for it. They have over 1,000 5-star reviews. So if you're injured, call 512-888-9999 and get your justice at teamjustice.com.